What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Wrestling with Conversation. We are back with another episode. Matter of fact, this is episode 7, I believe. So now I wasn't able to cover NXT last night, so this is why I wanted to take advantage of this and go ahead talk about NXT and talk about other stuff as well. The possibility of what changes I think Triple H should actually make. We could talk about how they could have booked the Cora Jade's heel turn a little better, and we can talk about the tag team division, the women's tag team division, what it could lead to, because either way, when one of those four tag team women's win, what would be next for them? There's no tag team division. And we're going to talk about a couple more stuff as well. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. This is Wrestling with Conversation episode 7. Let's just go ahead and get into it. If you guys are new to the channel, I do shorts, I do weekly videos, reactions, and I do this podcast as well. So with all that being said, let's start off with first the most exciting news that's been out. Now, I could have been out there and tried to be the first one to get views and stuff, but, busy as it is. Now, let's talk about the changes that Triple H could possibly make. Because they said SummerSlam is the first change he's going to actually make, but I want to know, there's a couple things that I actually want to talk about, and that is make the championships more prestigious. Because if you look at it, we being honest, the championships really don't mean anything. Roman Reigns barely shows up to the Raw brand, even though he has the WWE champion, and he got the Universal champion. Now listen, yes, he unified them, so meaning that whatever champion he had is practically a SmackDown champion now. But still, Raw doesn't really have anything at the moment. Yes, Bobby Lashley is the United States champion, but there's not much he can do with it. He doesn't have anybody to face off with while he's facing Theory at SummerSlam. They could have him fight someone else to build up momentum for his match at SummerSlam, but if you watch the Monday Night Raw, they got Theory getting jumped by the whole roster, so I don't see how that's going to help build his match at SummerSlam against Bobby Lashley. Now, we need a tag team division in both women's division, both the men's division. This is why I was so against them unifying the men's tag team champion, because they hardly have any team. Yes, unifying would help that, but I feel like if they would just have more teams on Raw and SmackDown, then they wouldn't have to unify the tag team champions. Now, look at Chad Gable and Otis. When they was Raw tag team champions, they was doing great for what they was. They just needed legit opponents, and then they got fed straight to RK Bro at WrestleMania, because I was there live, when they should have retained those tag team champions, or they should have won back the tag team champions, but they didn't. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode was one of another tag team as well, but it looks like they split it them, having Dolph Ziggler turn face. They could have easily built up Robert Roode and AJ Styles at SummerSlam, because he could have been like, Dolph, why you just didn't pick up the phone and call me? Instead of picking AJ Styles to go against Theory and such and such. And it's legit. I get what they was doing with unifying the tag team champions, but let's be real, guys. Unifying those tag team champions did nothing but make the tag team division much worse. Now, they could call us some people in NXT, but hardly those tag teams are ready. And there's no tag team in NXT division as well. So I don't understand why break up all these teams only for them to not have any more teams. So it's kind of like it's kind of like, it's really not helping nobody, to be honest. And this is, I said every time, this is one of the Usos' worst tag team reigns, because there's legit no opponents. They lose all the time. They'll just basically look at as Roman Reigns 2 henchmen. The United States champion, the Intercontinental champion, needs more competitors, more legit opponents for that ranking division. Gunther needs a match at SummerSlam. He doesn't have a match at SummerSlam. Bobby Lashley, do he have opponents at the Theory? Anybody gonna step up to him? What about Gunther? If he had a match at SummerSlam, who will he face next after Shinsuke Nakamura? It's just those things that I look at the most. I could go in here and say, well, he need to change storyline. Look, whether you like Triple H or not, and to be honest, I know about the shady stuff he did, but that's not, I'm not there. That's not my business, so, but whether you like him or not, he will help with the bookings and storylines, since he is now head of creative. I just hope that he do, quote, best for business. Now, I don't really have really much to say about the changes. They can fire whoever, whatever. I'm not going to complain about no Bruce Pritchard. I'm not going to complain about none of that. I just want the champions to be more prestigious, have more tag team in the division, have more in the men's and the women's. And we'll talk about that a little later on down in the video. That's it. Just have Triple H have everything feel the same again, and I will be happy. Everything else, he can do whatever. Just make the championships look more important. Please have everybody do their job, and they can have fun, but at the end of the day, it's business. We need better TV shows. We need better champions. Rivalry storylines and such. Now, speaking of bettering things, let's talk about Joe Gacy. Like, that's not what I didn't look at this and see like young veteran Grizz. I've been rooting for them since day one. I said have them win the NXT Tag Team Champion. They have yet to done it, and all of a sudden they disappear off TV to be Joe Gacy's lackey. Now Joe Gacy, he's not even over yet, so why would you put a good tag team with him and hope putting them over when you don't even see the young veteran Grizzlies as a top priority? So why put them with Joe Gacy if you trying to push him when you just tarnish all three of these men? Now, he can't be a Bray Wyatt because he don't have the creative idea or storyline. I'm not putting him down, but I'm sure he came up with something. I don't want to be like everybody else and say Joe Gacy is like a wannabe Bray Wyatt, but at first I was genuinely interested in him. Now it's like he makes me fall asleep, and I'm not even trying to be mean, but why did they go to this? Why did they switch to this gimmick? In the beginning, he was, saying these big words, having the crowd heat and stuff like that. Apparently, social media didn't like it. Now, when did WWE ever cared about what social media has to say? Out of all the time on social media, put their foot down, WWE completely ignored them. But this is the time when they want to listen to the crowd. It's changed Joe Gacy gimmick. And this is not even a long-term fan. This is the casual that just watch him for the first time and get offended by what he said or what he did. And now, and in the process of changing Joe Gacy, they also ruined the young veteran Grizzlies. Why would you go and do that? You make the dude I can't find it. But he's no Bray Wyatt. So hopefully they do something, because it's a lot of talented people on NXT 2.0. And if you're not on the road, you will get passed through. So hopefully they have something for him, because he will get left behind. Now let's talk about Mandy Rose versus Zoe Starks at Heat Wave. And that's officially pay-per-view confirmed in August. Okay, Mandy Rose versus Zoe Stark for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Heat Wave Tuesday, August the 16th. Now, I don't know what you guys see in Zoe Stark. I'm not a big fan of her. I don't know what's her gimmick, what's her character. I just don't understand it. But I see where they going with this. Maybe Mandy Rose and Tasha Trash has ran their course on, NXT 2.0, and Mandy Rose did say she wanted to go back to the main roster. So if she is going back to the main roster, is she taking Tasha Trash with her? Because they are a group. With that being said, I do think they're going to drop the belt. They is going to have her drop the belt to a babyface, which is Zoe Stark. Now, I don't want to say she's getting rewarded for being injured and passing all that time, but I feel like they could have gave it to any other babyface, but there's legit no one else. And besides, Zoe Stark is more likely a veteran than any other of those NXT women on there. Now, I could have been mad and say give it to Tiffany Stratton, but she will get her time eventually. But with that being said, the Tasha Attraction is headed to Monday Night Raw with SmackDown at SummerSlam. It's just who going to step up to Zoe Stark's next. And they can't have all the good women out there getting squashed by Zoe Stark, but it has to be a legit competitor. Don't use Tiffany to a job to Zoe Stark. I'm going to be pissed at it. Yes, let's get to the last but not least. Well, actually, I actually want to talk about this Fatal 4-Way elimination match. We got Ivy and Tatum versus Gigi and JC versus Katina and Kaden versus Valentina and Miss Leon. Now, let's talk about this real quick. Why did Roxanne just vacate the championships? She could have legit found a partner and, participate in the match. And so this is why I really disagree with the whole Cora Jade turning heel part, because first I really do think it is too early, and I really do think it's too early. I really do think that heel turn was whack and it wasn't really the best. So yeah, I mean, it really was. It was so predictable because everybody said Cora Jade. But I feel like you could have built up tensions. I feel like they could have built up tensions and more tensions and just have her turn heel. But I feel like they didn't even have to win the women's tag team titles, because that makes the NXT women's tag team title looks like a joke for the completely third time. You remember when Dakota Kai and YQ won the tag team champion and lost it the same night? And then they won it again and lost it again probably a day or two later. So it was so funny because I was rooting for Dakota Kai to have a tag team title and only for her to get treated like this. So it was so disaster, but that was weird. So, but yeah, let's go back to this Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team Women's Championship match real quick. I think Ivy and Tatum is getting eliminated. I think Miss Leon and Valentina is going to be eliminated. So it's going to be down to these last four women. Tasha Trash and Gigi and Jason versus Katina and Kaden. Now, listen. I'm a huge fan of Tasha Trash, and I'm not gonna lie and be on a bandwagon for Katina and Kaden, but they do deserve it. They earned their butts off. They've been there ever since the Black and Gold brand. They even had to go through this transition of NXT 2.0. So if they have another opportunity for them to get slapped in the face with it, then legit, I mean, I legit would just be pissed off, you know, because they don't complain, they don't have no frustration, and it just really, you know, they remain humble, and I don't know, they could be frustrated at the house, but at least they don't show it on screen or show it backstage. Now, with that being said, if they do win these tag team titles next week, hopefully I can cover that. Yeah, that's what being humble and staying consistent and working would do for you. Now, I would not be doing the post-show review on NXT last night because I'm running out of time. So, with all that being said, let's talk about how they could have booked it Jade's heel turn. Again, they didn't need to win the women's tag team titles to have Jade turn up Roxanne. Matter of fact, in that match, Katie and Katina could have won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and then with Roxanne eating the pin next week, they say they want another match. So whenever they get that rematch, Roxanne eats the pin again, and Jade just looking at Roxanne like, what the mess? Why you continue losing? And Roxanne was like, I'm sorry, we gonna get him again. And then, you know, how Roxanne had that contract carried around with her, and then that just makes Jade angry some more, because she's like, if she has the contract, why would she care about winning the women's tag team titles when she are guaranteeing a NXT Women's Championship match? So, you know, she's like, okay, we want Roxanne's on mic talking about some, you know what, we want one more chance. And Jade gets a mic. Roxanne said, Cora, tell him we want another rematch, and this time we will win. And you see the redness on Jade's face. And then she looks at Roxanne while Katina and Casey is on the stage. Jade looks at Roxanne. She's angry. Her face is red. And she said, Roxanne, I'm gonna rip your F head off. And she just punches her in the face and just starts beating the crap out of her, going all Batista mode like he did to Rey Mysterio. And like, it's funny because I was giving WWE the benefit of the doubt, but as I seen all this attacking backstage and I'm looking at the rumors and stuff on Twitter, I'm like, oh my God, why would they go with this bullcrap predictable heel turn? And out of all that, the skateboard botches doesn't even hit Roxanne in the back. This was one of the weakest heel turns I ever seen this year. I don't think we hardly had a heel turn this year. And Jade heel turn was not it, man. I feel like they should have done better, or they could at least have Roxanne and Jade in the ring with chairs and have Jade hit her with a chair in the back. I'm not saying recreate the Shield moment, because that's a moment you can't never recreate, but you gotta look at Jade. She's already small as it is. You can't have her looking weak and trying to have her be a turn heel, you know? I like that she got all the new black clothes and everything, but still, you can't have her be doing weak stuff. Now, it looks like she was born to be heel naturally, because she sounds more organic on the mic as a heel than she was a babyface. Now, if you look at this picture in the NXT taping live, you see her with a bodyguard and who's to me Commander Isaiah's. Now, this is good. This legit could have happened after she did the whole Batista, I'ma rip your head off on Roxanne, meaning having her get a bodyguard so it can, prevent Roxanne from going at her until there's a proper storyline and an actual match for these two to fight against each other. What was Commander Isaiah at the freaking NXT last night? What was he? They not even thinking all ahead with this girl, Jade. If I'm being honest, What they see, what they trying to see in CORAJADE is already in Roxanne. And this whole AJ Lee, Big E thing, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, but if you look at it, they could have did a whole AJ Lee and Paige thing. They could have did a whole AJ Lee and Paige thing with Roxanne and CORAJADE, and I think that's what they were trying to do. But then again, CORAJADE turning heel was so early, and then Roxanne doesn't even have a champion. It's so early for her to be champion. I don't get why they just breaking up people for no reason. But yeah, that is everything I want to discuss. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Leave a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. I will be doing SummerSlam watch along, so be on the lookout.